It's that CSZ gang. They said pull up, so I came. You better put some respect on their name. Yeah, 55, what's goody? Kill the vibe, how could it? Big Cardinal on the hoodie. Let me break it down for you fully. This ain't your average broadcast. This ain't just no podcast. The mother shows spread fake news. We just call them broadcast. West, Joey, Sam, Shawn, Dante. And you know that boy Higgy. He said he don't want no small fries. Tell them they better make them biggie. Yeah, you already know what we be on. We got the crown, we hold the throne. We throw the mails and you take them home. When they ring the bells, you know that it's home. The bar set, we setting the tone. If we set it, then set it in stone. Sit in the seat, set up your phone. You in the Cardinal sports zone.
What is up, everybody? Sorry for that delay there. Shawn was around my equipment this weekend, so I'm pretty sure he probably messed it up somehow. I'm going to blame it on him anyway. Coming to you live from the Fitness Market Studios North, this is the Cardinal Sports Zone Podcast. I'm your host, Jeremy Wildman. I'm here today with Mr. Women's Basketball himself. He ain't been here in a minute, but we're glad to have him back. He was actually covering the team in the Bahamas. His name is Sam Baisden.
What up? What up?
Okay, good connection there, unlike Higgy's connection. And then I think we need to get him a new nickname. I think Mr. Sticky is probably a good one, but it's it's your guy. Yeah. Shawn is in his wax shack again with the horrible interwebs. It's our guy Shawn Barber. Shawn, what's good?
Going.
Uncle Larry, what's good? Bradley, what's good? Bubba, Brian, Allie, RL, Fabian. Yeah. Look, I'm not sure. First off, I'm not really sure what we can accomplish tonight with everything that has went on the past couple weeks and this week. What's up, Wes? Shane Barber. Yeah, it's his new name. But we're going to try to talk through some stuff. I'm not going to try to paint a pretty picture about yesterday because there wasn't one. But we'll talk about football. We'll talk about basketball and what your expectations should be for both. JB, what's good? Oh, I was like, what? The emoji only came halfway through. Chris, what's up? James, what's up? Look, this is what we're going to do today. Let me get back to my Facebook feed here. So, yeah, chat line's open, as you can tell. It's being helped from Orlando. What's up, Lee? Chat line's open. Y'all can tell that it's fully inundated like always. As always, if you want to follow us on social media, look underneath Shawn's virgin beard. You can find all the social media platforms there. And if you want to donate to the show or support the show, however you want to put it, underneath my magical fingers here, ask my wife, are the ways you can support us that way, whether it be PayPal, Venmo, or Cash App. And you actually can't ask for my wife right now because she left me this morning again. I'm getting pretty tired of it. I'm getting sick of this. She thinks that, she can just leave me every couple months. I'm supposed to be okay with it. No, I'm okay. Rito, what's good? Brian, what's good? Yeah, I know, Brian. It's crazy. And yeah, Chris, I'm not so crazy about the Georgia Tech quarterback that's in the portal, but I'll give everybody a chance. Uncle Larry, I don't think you ever need to go back. Have we ever won when you went in there? I don't think so. James coming to us from Bourbon City, Bardstown, Kentucky. We appreciate you. Wes says, I can't lie, I'm pissed, but I knew before the game without Tyon and Malik we would lose. Yes, let's just hop into that. Again, don't forget to shout us out on Twitter after you've watched us do this live taping. Don't forget to hit the like button, and don't forget to tell your friends about us, and they can be our friends, and maybe we can be friends. It is what it is. Football sucked yesterday, man. It like Rito said, I'm not mad. I'm disappointed. It just feels like under this regime that this game means nothing to the current staff. Obviously, I could be wrong. What's up, Daryl? What's up, Higgy? What's up, Wayne? It just they schemed us wonderfully yesterday. If they saw Yaya and Yasir on the right side of the field, they ran their plays to the left and vice versa. And that's all the compliment that you're going to get from me. But I'm with Rito. I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed. I know we got the 7 regular season wins, which would tell you that means he's staying. I don't know that we get many more than 7 regular seasons wins next year. I hope we do. Our schedule is very, very. Let me pull that back up. I had that up a second ago, and then all the. Oops, not that. All this. By the way, shout out to Chris Redmond. His Christian Academy team is going to be playing Bardstown for the state championship. This Saturday, I think. Yeah, on Saturday. Let's go to the schedule real quick. This is a live show, so we do just whatever we want to. What was I talking about? Next year's schedule? Let's go into that. Next year's schedule is we host we open up with Georgia Tech at the Mercedes Dome. We play Murray State here. Then we play Indiana at Lucas Oil. Now, the rest of the schedule has not been assigned yet, other than home and away. We play Kentucky here, Boston College here, Notre Dame here, Virginia here, Duke here, Virginia Tech here. Only three true road games next season at NC State, at Miami, at Pitt, with the 2 exception games where we're playing both of those teams in their home state. So it's really an away game. So, we'll talk about T. Huddy here in a second. Let's see. Defense held up their end. The offense didn't. Rito, I normally would agree with you, but giving up 26 points to Kentucky, they didn't hold up. I know they were on the field. Shawn, I know they were on the field a ton.
They got 10 points off of 2 horrible turnovers. They put them right in the goal line. So, I don't know what they could do there.
Yeah, the thing about it is, they were put into quite a pickle, and they did hold a lot of those drives to 3 points. So I will give them that, but it just didn't feel like the same defensive effort yesterday, and I don't know why. Obviously, we found out prior to the game that Tyon Evans was not going to play. Apparently, he was too busy declaring for the NFL draft to help us, which is fine. We wish nothing but the best of luck to him. Let's go to this stat. I want to pull this up for when it's time to talk about T. Huddy. Because, man, what he did this year was just off the charts, impressive. Receiving, where's the receiving yards? Single season receiving yards. So, really quick before we talk about before we continue with the negativity, Tyler Hudson jumped into 9th place in all time for single season receiving yards. But he joined 6 other players. I know what you're saying. Well, how the heck is that possible? Well, Dion went for 1,000 twice. Harry Douglas went for 1,000 twice. And Arnold Jackson went for 1,000 twice. So right now he's, I think, at 1,034. Mark Clayton's at 1,112. So he can, with the bowl game, he could probably jump into 4th or 5th place, but just a phenomenal season. I know they were talking about how he had the least amount of touchdowns that we ever had for a 1,000-yard receiver. I don't see any fault there. I think that our biggest mistakes yesterday was the deer in the headlight syndrome that we had going on. What's up, Brent? What's up, Daryl? It was a situation, and I'll get to the chat line here in a second. The offense hasn't held up their end of the bargain all year, and I don't really blame anybody particularly for that, because you had a situation where even yesterday you had Brock, then you had Malik, then Malik got hurt again, and you put Brock back in, and there's no continuity with the offense. Our running backs that have actually played, Jahar Jordan, appreciate you. And then Maurice Turner, he played well. I understand Cooley and Jalen Mitchell leaving the team. I don't understand why you leave it before the season's over. I just I don't like that. See, Steve says, I'm mad and tired of being a darn practice game for them. Cards Don said, yo. Brian says, and a quarterback that has a brother who plays with Pierce. Just saying. Look, I've said, if y'all paid attention to the show, I've dropped DJU hints on the show. I mean, somebody hints. Wes says, shout out to T. Huddy for the 1,000 yards receiving and the defense for getting stops. Offensive 23 points is still too many points to be given up to a Kentucky team that got ran in that facility versus Vanderbilt. Oh, James says, bring on Cal, go Tigers. So apparently the Bardstown guy, shock, is cheering for Bardstown in the championship game. I've just got too many friends on the other side. I apologize, James. I've got a lot of friends in Bardstown, but I actually have a lot of friends on the Cal coaching staff. Paul says, what's up? Dan says, disappointed by the results all week, but our fans have to stop calling for everybody to be fired after every game. Football, basketball, get a grip. Yeah. And Chris, it's the 2026 schedule that we're at Clemson, at Miami, at Florida State, host Notre Dame, host Georgia. But I don't think that Georgia game's going to – if they move to 9 games, that Georgia game will never happen, in my opinion. Oh, wow. Jason Baker says, I was in Lexington and got booted out of my seats because a UK fan smeared a piece of pizza all over my seat, and I attacked him. Was forced to leave my seats, which were on the field behind the UK bench. Had to go stand behind the U of L section. That place is a crap hole. Absolutely. We did not have good field position, correct? Babu says, is the last 7 days the worst performance week for U of L sports? Football lost its rival. Men's basketball blown out all 3 games. Women's basketball lost 2 tournament games. God bless women's volleyball. It could be. I mean, I feel like we've had this discussion before on a previous episode. This may take the cake. Fabian says we're a volleyball school now. Stop it. Denise makes a great point. All of a sudden, their kicker, who normally misses, looks like Justin Tucker. Absolutely. Wesley likes Sims from Georgia Tech. Says he could be help. 6'3", big arm, and a really good runner. And hold up, what, Tyon is leaving? Yeah, that's why he didn't play yesterday. Dan says we haven't matched UK's intensity since Seth's been here. I'm not sure why. Yeah, I don't think the game means as much to him. I don't know why. He's never said that to me, but we're never prepared. Whereas the first couple of years he was here, it looked like it was a talent issue. This year, it did not look like a talent issue. It looked like an X's and O's executing issue. Do we add running back depth? With Ruben Owens, Jahar Jordan, and Maurice Turner, I'm not sure unless we get into a position where we got guys quitting in the middle of the season again, I don't know that we need running back depth. Rito says, wait, what? Tyon declared for the draft? Unofficially. That is what I was told. Actually, the first coach I talked to said, oh, he's still hurt. And then the next coach was like, crap, he declared for the draft. So, yeah. Dustin says, got to cut the defense some slack. Ball was turned over on the 7-yard line twice. Top-notch wide receiver. Yeah. Bubba wants you to stop watching your
Whoa.
porn, Sean. Steve says volleyball, women's basketball, and baseball looking like a Title IX school of D1. Is Satterfield recruiting any 5-star players? I mean, I don't know who else he can get in the 2023 class. Steve, meanwhile, football coach up the road is 17-8 and champs of the West the last 2 years. Well, I don't like it for sure. Ty Williams is a force to be reckoned with. I'll be checking him out. Chris, thumbs up. Brian McGlasson says, I'm super excited with the potential of Owens and Jaws and Turner. Turner is waiting to explode. Hold up. I thought you said it wasn't that disc jockey. No, I truly believe that's who it is. Rito says, at James, where you been at? Sat been recruiting his booty off for sure. If Evans really missed due to getting ready for the draft, then that truly is disappointing. Lee says, shout out to the fans that traveled to Lexington. Ruben Owens is a 5-star for sure. Injury bug killed our offense this season for sure. Bradley, I don't like the Georgia Tech quarterback either. Same stats as Malik. I'm good on him. DJ, on the other hand, I wonder if that means that's the thing. If we get his brother, I think that means we get him. If his brother commits elsewhere, I don't think we get him. Lawrence, but can Shawn run the ball if Owens doesn't show up?
No.
I mean, no,
No.
because he can't get up through the middle.
I don't know. Are you trying to say I don't know how to penetrate?
That's
Absolutely.
exactly what he said.
You don't know how to start, let alone finish. Wes says, man, Mike Puckett says, I feel like we can finally move forward in the post-Malik era, which is a holdover from that last regime, and hopefully are on the right trajectory in football. Look, thank you, Malik Cunningham, for everything you've done. You literally this season have put your body on the line for us. Even though we didn't always get the results we wanted, you were injured the whole season. We weren't going to get like a super impressive Malik this year as much as he was injured. Wes Key says that was selfish from the running back crew. Yeah, well, I just don't understand the leaving 2 games before the season's, well, I mean, Cooley and Mitchell have been sitting out for personal reasons, aka getting ready for the transfer portal for a month now. What is up with that Field of 68 YouTube show? They've been going hard at little basketball last few days. Is that the one Jeff Goodman does? Aaron Walker says Shawn can't find the holes. No, he wouldn't know a hole if we painted a patch of grass around it. Kevin Watson says UK uses that game as a recruiting tool. The kids immediately buy into it. Which game? I've been reading all these tweets. Oh, using our game? Great.
Yeah, the government's got.
Dustin says, do we run with Clarkson at QB as a true freshman? We're going to the transfer portal, and Clarkson is going to learn from this guy, and it's going to be a good guy. I fingers crossed. If we don't get a good quality quarterback this time around, I'm just going to give up on his quarterback recruiting skills. Fabian says, Wesley, I agree. Weston Wayne says, I do blame the head coach for not having quality depth in the quarterback room. Just a lot of, we talked about this last night, just a lot of misfortune. I mean, Chubba Purdy, he flipped. McCaffrey decided he didn't want to fight for the job. T. Webb decided to just tour America for college. Couple, I mean, those are the ones off the top of my head. It's just, it has been bad luck, but it's also been, well, you still should have had another person. So, look, I'm locked in with Coach Sat in the long run. Oh, UK does their football recruiting picks with the L's down. It's the most important game of the year for them. I've seen it firsthand. Look, the L's down thing bothers me a lot more than it should. And then I see the people with 3 teeth out in the crowd, L's down in themselves. During our game, during the Vandy game, people sending me pictures of them doing L's down during every game of the year. You don't see us giving 2 about them any other game than this game. We don't go through throwing K's down or wearing white hoods or whatever they do in their off time. We don't do none of that stuff. We literally don't care about them. You just have to go to transfer portal for QB. Can't have just Clarkson. Yeah, that's what I was saying. No, Jordan Travis didn't leave because he's behind Puma and Malik. Jordan Travis left because he didn't. Him and the Nick and Bobby had tremendous problems. Puma wasn't even here when Sat was. Was Puma here Sat's first year?
He was a starter until he got hurt, and then Malik took over.
Well, the fact of the matter is Jordan Travis. That's another mishap. He couldn't keep a hold of him, but I know for a fact he had problems with the Petrinos. Yoda, what's good? I know average honky, L's down shouldn't bother nobody, and you're right. One way to fix that is not lose 4 or 5 straight to them. It just bothered me. Well, no, you're right, Rito. Let me go ahead and just stop the stuff right here. Nobody knew Jordan Travis was going to be that good. He got a little clock here, and he was the starting quarterback when we lost like 77-7 to Georgia Tech here. And you're telling me you thought that guy was going to be the beast he is this year? James says it shows no class on Wildcats fans and players. Bill Jones, what's good, man? What's up, fellas? Had a great weekend with the crew, regardless of the game outcome. I can't wait to rejoin you all next season. Kevin Watson said that's all they had. They have zero chance of winning the SEC in football. The U of L game is huge for recruiting. I'm not really sure how that could be. Like, we're not a football powerhouse. The SEC is. And Bradley says, no way Clarkson starts year one. If Sat misses on a QB in the portal, then I have no faith we win more than 4 games. Any players you think will sit the bowl game? Yeah, I'm sure there will be. And I'm not so sure Malik won't be one of them, unfortunately. What about our player throwing the water bottle in the stands? Okay. So we'll go ahead and highlight that one. Steve, first off, that was classless. But second off, we got the video recording of the second he looks around and throws the bottle. How do we know that one of those people in the stands didn't throw the bottle at him first? And then he picked it up and threw it back. I haven't asked him. I haven't found out. But I'm not going to judge anybody for that because I don't know what they said to him or what they did to him. They could have thrown the water bottle first. Now, if they just said some inappropriate things and he threw the water bottle at him, that's not a good look. But if they threw the bottle first and he threw it back, but all we saw was the video from the second he looks around and then chucks the water bottle. So I don't know. Jason Baker says, I'm going to become a hand surgeon. Until we become relevant again, there's going to be a lot of people with severe arthritis from L's down, and I need to capitalize for sure. Look, my cousin, she just moved here from North Carolina, and she's never a big sports fan, but she moved to Lexington, and you can't go anywhere in Lexington without showing them that you cheer for a certain team. So her husband and dad went to a Kentucky game, and they sent me a picture with them both doing the L's down and LOL. So what's up, Ian? What's up, Clint? What's up, Ray? Let me go to that Caleb Banks. He jumped in the transfer portal as well.
Damn.
I kind of figured because he only got very sparing playing time.
I was gonna say I didn't even remember him playing this year.
He played some.
Yeah, he got the playing time. Yeah.
Okay, so she sent me the picture, and neither one of them are doing it right. So that's how you know that it's not a malicious UK fan. One of them's pointing at their junk, and the other one's pointing at a dog on the other side of the room. To which I responded. I could have responded angrily, but I responded. I would not do that in public for multiple reasons. One, that's how people outside of the city of Louisville can tell what their IQ are. Two, that's a sign to people inside of the city that you're secretly giving them the finger. Three, it's a great way to F around and find out. And I said something else too, but it's not appropriate for airwaves, so we will not. We won't talk about that. But yeah, it's just the L's down bothers me. It don't bother me in theory. It bothers me when the players do it. It doesn't bother me when the fans do it because they're all like, "Beat Louisville, we scored that down there." No, that I'm good with that. T. Huddy staying? I don't know. Why is it when we get a top-notch player in basketball and football, they never pan out? I don't know who you're alluding to. What if Khalib stays? He's not. We had a particular QB from the East Coast and have Clarkson too. I think that could be the start of it. No, absolutely, Brian. Aaron says hit T. Huddy with a fat NIL deal to stay. Laugh. I know I saw it on TikTok. I was just wondering. I know how racist and buttholes they are toward. Yeah, for sure. What are the chances DJ? It solely relies. I'll say this again. It solely relies on whether we get his brother. I truly believe that. The quote from that girl on campus a couple of weeks ago, then what I saw on Twitter from KSR, I'm sure there were some words shouted to our sideline. Fabian Bradley's wants to announce he's entering the transfer portal. What's up, Trevor? Yeah. So for sure, good. I'm glad we got caught up with that because we still got a lot to talk about, and we're already a half hour. No, we're not, because I was late because Shawn was trying to hunt my equipment. But the game sucked yesterday. We didn't fully, even at 13-0. It kind of felt like we weren't going to win that game, and we've been down 13-0. A lot of times we've been down 13-0 to them a couple times. I just watched the game yesterday morning. I was getting myself hyped I watched the Teddy Bridgewater game when he came in. I watched the Kyle Bowling game when he came in. We were down 13-0 in both games. And it was like, wah, 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 wah. Corey, probably about 15. They probably had about 15 players, including Caleb and Cooley, who have already came out and said they were leaving. And then I expect Mitchell. I wouldn't be shocked. I'm not going to put any speculation out there, but there are a couple receivers. I wouldn't be shocked. It is what it is. No, that's the pot, and I got that also on here. Positives. Levis didn't run over us like he did the last 2 years. Absolutely. Uncle Larry says, "Do you think DeAndre Moore will end up playing here?" You know, I have been so certain about things these last few weeks, and none of it's come to fruition. So I don't want to give anybody any false hope or let anybody down. But I do think it. I know he had on Nike gloves the other night, but his high school is a Nike school. He can't wear Adidas gloves. A lot of people made a big deal out of that. Average honky. Malik's interception into triple coverage is when I knew the game was over. I knew it was, I had one burst of hope that we were going to win that game, and that was halftime. And then we came out and went 3-9. I was like, wah, 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 wah. Fabian says Malik has the numbers, but leaves here without having that moment. I think the fact that he played Division I football for 6 years is quite the moment. We should have took the field goal. Rito, we would have just lost 26-16 instead of 26-13. And he got that first down. That's the thing about it. I applaud the play call. It took a lot of nuts, and the guy made the play. It's just, and he goes for it. That's one thing we know. Satterfield goes for it on fourth down a lot. If we convert it, it's like, man, what a gutsy play. And if we don't, it's like, that's the stupidest play ever. So I don't know. It is what it is. So I'm going to ask everybody that's listening, and you two here as well. I'll start with Sam. Strictly from a fan standpoint, because all signs point to the fact he is going to be our coach next year. Did he earn another year for you as a fan? I know you're a critical fan at that, but did he earn another season as Louisville's head football coach?
No. But I mean, outside of the recruiting class, I don't see another reason to bring him back.
We were 2-4, and we finished the season 7-5, and you don't see any other reasons that he should be brought back?
No, because I'm gonna use your logic against you.
And you ain't never gonna use nothing against me. I keep it 100, so I like you keeping it 100 for once.
No, I always do. When I said that the defense made adjustments and things like that, you said one of the things was the players started to play better. It wasn't on the coaching; it was on the players.
That's coming from the players. That's not coming from my opinion. That's what multiple players told me, that they were tired of looking like jack-ins on TV, and they decided to try to overcome their shortcomings. So yeah.
So because the players decided to step up, doesn't that negate whatever Satterfield was doing? Because the players themselves started to step up
on defense. The player, I mean, there's more to football than the defense. So I don't know. I don't know what all was changed. All I know is that on either side of the ball, all I know is that people I've talked to up there said there has been no change in play calling defensively at all.
Okay, but I'm saying to you, if the players decided to step up, which helped the record, it goes both ways on defense and on offense. It goes for the whole team.
Yeah, but set changed there were visible changes in our offense from 2 and 4.
Our offense kind of let us down a lot.
Well, yeah, but we switched the playbook up, is what I'm saying, and I think that's what led us to the 7-5 record, along with the defense being stout. I asked you for your opinion, so you say no. Shawn, what about you?
Well, he had to do next year. You're losing pretty much all the best players you had on defense. Gone. And the second team did not look that great when they came in. we lost a lot of games because of our QB play. Let's be honest. We lost that Kentucky game, period. Their QB was able to execute better than ours. It's that simple. Missed open guys. Didn't see them. Held on to the ball too long. They're in triple coverage, making decisions. He dropped back. He literally hit his drop back where he stopped and he threw it. Didn't even look.
Yeah, we're talking about Seth. Did he earn? Did Seth earn another year for you?
My fear is he may have earned another year, but I don't know, man. I just look at staff with the players gone that we had happen next year.
Rito says once we
if you're saying he earned another year, it's going to happen with that next year. And not only that, he's basically a lame duck coach, right? Because this is coming up, right?
Trevor says you need a Ethernet cable and a webcam. Rito says once we got sacked, the drive is over for us. Allie says yes, earned another year. Fabian says no. Trevor says yes. Tyler says yes. Bradley says heck no. Bubba says yes, he did. I don't base the season on one game. Roderick says he earned another season. Trevor said Seth could win a natty, and Sam would say no for sure. Honky says, yes, we overachieved, beat 2 ranked teams. Come on, man. I'm glad you brought that up. I thought that was interesting, too. I think out of our 7 wins, 4 of them come against 8-win teams. 3 of them came against 7-win teams. We have never had a strength of record like that since I've been watching Louisville football. Every team that we beat was a quality team. And that's why we were ranked 25th in the poll the other day before the Dreams come crashing down. Aaron says, yes, absolutely. There's so much improvement. He did well considering the transfers and the injuries. That was also a big roadblock, having to overcome the injuries and the people just sitting out. Steve says the stands tell us all we need to know about him. Let's go ahead and pin that one because I do want to talk about that in a second. Brad said we shouldn't have been 2-4 in the first place. I don't disagree. 3 top 25 victories. We had every team we beat other than South Florida and Virginia was in the top 25 at some point to see. That last 6 games of the season was the hardest 6-game stretch I've ever seen in Louisville football. When we went into that Pittsburgh game, Pittsburgh was ranked the week before, and so was every other team on the rest of our schedule. Rito said he did enough to stay around. Y'all are being too harsh. Don't disagree with that, but it is what it is. I respect everybody's opinion. Aaron said, look at the schedule we played. Did exceptionally well. Zeke Parker, what's good, man? My man Zeke, one of my all-time favorite returners, receivers, my dude. He says yes. I mean, he played here. Shawn, what have you played for Louisville football?
I didn't.
Pocket hockey. That's all you played. Just you cut holes in the pockets of your jeans.
I was there for every game during the 2 and 10 seasons, or 2 and 12, whatever it was. I was there for every game.
Yeah, you cut holes in your pockets of your jeans and played thumb hockey. We know what you did. Average Honky says 1 top 10 team in a blowout fashion. Let's not become Ohio State fans and want to kick our head coach to the curb because he lost the rivalry game. Trevor said, Sam, he just won 7 games against one of the toughest schedules in the country. We beat more 7-win teams than anybody else. I don't want to keep changing coaches, says Bubba.
But then be happy with mediocrity. How about that? Be happy with mediocrity. If we keep Satterfield 7 and 7's going to be the highest, it's the ceiling.
I'm gonna get to that in a second because that comment right there just absolutely infuriates. We are Louisville football. We are not Ohio State. We are not Alabama. We are Louisville football. Mediocrity, your so-called mediocrity is actually decent football to most people in the country that aren't top 25.
We're not most people in the country.
We're the University of Louisville. We are a top 40 football program, and any team in this country from 26 to 40 would be ecstatic with 7 wins.
So you happy with being mediocre?
They wouldn't call it mediocrity either. Steve says we can play basketball and football next year at Manual and not sell out. Well, that's just because some of the fans are so petty. They think that if we're not beating every team by 50 and undefeated, that they shouldn't have to leave their homes. Look, another factor is just this. Let's just call a spade a spade. COVID has changed the game for everybody. I used to go to all the football games. I don't want to get my mom sick, and I know I'm not the only person in America that's protective over their family. There's been a huge, I mean, even with the game yesterday, a lot of seats wide open. No, Doug, Kylan Fox did not commit today. He set a commitment date. Rito says people say we shouldn't deal with mediocrity, but that's what the football has been, even with Lamar Jackson at the helm. Preach. Trevor says transfer portal Shawn. Kylan is committing 12-17. Bubba says Shawn's interwebs is as good as his dating life. Brown is 17-8 the last stop it. RL Holt says he's earned 1 or 2 more seasons. Fabian says the sound is killing me. I don't like sounds good on everybody but Shawn. Goose says, why has he been on McDonald's internet the last 2 podcasts? I don't know, bro.
It was fine earlier. I don't know
Tactical
why all of a
bro.
sudden it's bad now.
Here is Tactical Bro from Twitter. No, he had 4 years to develop Malik or a backup and couldn't do it. That's just for starters. Okay. Well, if y'all know Tactical Bro from Twitter, a comment like that's actually pretty mild for what he says. Average Honky says, I disagree with that. Attendance is down throughout the country. Our games were never sellouts to begin with. It's just easier to watch at home, and that's a fact. Scuba Steve wants to know if Shawn is on dial-up internet. Paul says he'd be okay if Sat stayed, which he's going to, with an upgraded defensive coordinator.
Which I don't think we're getting one.
No, well, not unless somebody comes in and poaches him, which is quite possible with the Fool's Gold we've seen this year. Michelle, you could be late. It's all good. Use it, love it. He doesn't give me hope for the future based on his record alone. He didn't earn it or lose it, in my opinion. I just wish he'd show us more creativity in the passing game, a defense that improved. But when you have a quarterback with what they say, with what experts say, not me, not Sam, not Shawn, they say that he has a low IQ passing wise, not any other, like his passing is his worst. Like that's what you're going to get. I think it's both a blessing. I think Malik was both a blessing for us. I don't want to say he was a curse because he was very, very explosive in a lot of games. He brought a lot of us excitement at times, and it left a lot of us scratching our head as well. Scuba Steve says, no, Shawn's not at a hot spot. He's at a cold spot, Trevor. Aaron wants to know if Satterfield made Sam mad on a personal level. Matthew Yoda says, I hate Sat's offense. I do too. The same offense he ran at App State, so I don't know why anybody expects the offense to change. I did too myself, and he's just not going to do it. Give Satterfield 2 more years, and if no improvement, start looking. Nah. Nah. Are we done with basketball high school recruiting? We'll talk about that in a second. Trevor wants to ask Sam, who is a better coach, Satterfield or Stoops?
Funny question.
That's so unfair.
Plead the fifth.
There you go. Kevin Lloyd, Satterfield is mediocre. Master Yoda, hey, we're saying hi and stuff. Yo, we need an offensive coordinator for sure. Exactly. Anything above 6-6 is success for Louisville football. And that's just the truth. Until we can build a stronger foundation. Now, Louisville football from 2010 to 2014 looked like it was building John L. built a solid foundation. Petrino and Strong shored that up. But, man, it was destroyed. That foundation was destroyed. And even then, under Coach Strong, which we had – I loved watching those games. We had probably the best talent, best coaches. It is what it is. But even then, we had just raised ourselves up to a top 40 program at that point. And I feel like we're still solidly a top 40 program. But I agree with you there. Trevor says Sam acts like Sat didn't like his school bus skills. Stop it. Shawn's a virgin. Rito says we have an offensive coordinator. Satterfield just won't give him the reins. Kevin says, sadly, he's not been to the games because of COVID. I have an incredibly suppressed immune system. Understand that. Cardinal says Louisville had a top 5 football team and still couldn't fill the stadium. we had enough people that they expanded. That I mean, I would never look down on our crowds back then, because even the Louisville, Florida, the Jameis Winston Florida State game, man, there wasn't a seat to be found in the house. Bradley says you can't be mediocre and get smacked by your rival every single year. Preach. Preach. Trevor, if Sat wins the bowl game, he gets an extension until Pierce's senior year. I don't know, Michelle. I don't know why you keep talking about fans and seats, because honestly, these last 3 home games of the season is the loudest I've heard that stadium in a long time. She says we don't have the type of fans that will go no matter what. Let it rain 2 drops, and we ain't coming. Brian says no extension for Sat, but think he's earned the right to coach out his current contract. Rito says Shawn needs to update his AOL. Trevor can still hear the dial-up chime. Michelle says we leave late and leave early no matter who we are playing. Been doing that since the fairgrounds days. Bubba says you've got mail. Trevor says Malik was the worst thing to happen to Sat. He scared a lot of good recruits, but wasn't good enough to take us to the next level. That's your opinion. Kevin says Banks to the portal, such a shame. And yes, the offense is awful. Sat won't fire Brown. Look, y'all, I appreciate all this interaction tonight. You made it a lot easier. This is off of one question. I had 5 more questions I'm not going to be able to get to tonight. But it is, this is what we are here for. Wes says Sat won't fire Brown with the stats. He can't. True. Rito wants to know what's up with the women's team. We'll talk about that here in a second. Henry says, what's your take on Sat? I feel like he earned himself another season. If we finish anything less than 7-5 next year, then it's time to go looking. That's true too, Michelle. Work schedules are no longer a 9 to 5. People work on Saturdays, got kids in AAU and stuff, and season tickets are way too high. Our only bad loss was BC. We got better from the butt kicking UK gave us last year. 2 more years and we'll be back. I hope it's less than that. Aaron says Sat took over when the transfer portal started to blow up, and with COVID, it's been a little rough. I think he deserves more time. Weston Wayne has COVID now, man. We hope you get better soon. That's not a joke. Wesley says the extension is on ice for now. Daniel Spencer says CSZ, what's up? I think the extension is already done. Henry says he hates Smurfs. Bubba Ray says Shawn needs to upgrade his offense. Preach. We got to hit the portal hard. A lot of talent out there. Sat tried to leave after year 1. That's another thing that people are focused on. Yeah, he did try to leave. You know who else tried to leave every year he was here? Bobby Petrino. And he chose us. I mean, I don't know. That statement also gets me, because I'm like, you all, Shawn, when you go to work, do you not try to get? Do you not apply for promotions at your job? I always did. Okay.
Yeah.
I know Sam's a hustler like I am. He's always looking for a promotion. It is what it is. The Cards pass is a great about. Shut up, Bubba. Steve, John L, Bobby, Charlie go 6-5 and 11-1, so we would have way higher highs than 6-7. He's only had 1 losing season here, guys, out of 4. This team went above my expectations this year, says Daniel. Dan says, don't know about Sat, but hope KP and Nolan are already scouting guys. They are. Brian says a lot of holes need to be filled for next season, and we'll be very young. 55, you think we should keep Sat? I mean, I don't know what else. Yes, I don't know what else you do right now. He's got probably the highest rated recruiting class since rankings started. I think we will be 7-5 next year at the least. That's the very least. We'll be 7-5 next year. We should not be 7-5 though. Can't compare the head coach of Louisville football to a regular job. I absolutely can, and just did. Like that man. So why was it okay for Petrino to go look at 3 out of his 4 years, but it's not okay for Satterfield to do it? Is it because Petrino won 11 games every year? Like, we have to build back up. Y'all act like we didn't just get Cragthorped, then Satterthorped, then COVIDed. Like, it takes a long time to come back from those 3 years. That just the worst ever. If it was up to the fans, we'd have a new coach in basketball and football every year. Every week. It's a perfect story. COVID, 2-4 start, sat flirting year 1, games at home on an 80-inch TV, but it's all over the country. Absolutely. So to Bob. Yes, Bob, every year. Oh, Yoda thinks we're going to be 6-6 or 5-7. Not with the guys we got that are being talked about coming in through the portal, and that schedule next year, like, is looking super nice. Where is it at? I had it somewhere. Like, we start off with, I think that 5. Let me just look it up. Got me over here stuttering and
I know Georgia Tech, I think it was an opening game.
Yeah, it's like Georgia Tech, Murray State, Indiana, Boston College.
Well, let's not say Boston College because we did technically lose to them.
Yeah, but that was up there. We're not gonna take that crap here at home. Hopefully.
Let's hope not.
Here we go. Come on, stupid. It's not. Why is it not? Oh, it's froze. Okay, let's try this again. It was not good for Bobby either. Yeah, no, it wasn't. It wasn't good for him. He just averaged like 10 wins per season. We need some legit backup quarterbacks. How many early signings do you expect? They gave Bobby a pass both times, like the toxic ex. We couldn't quit. I'd love to disagree with you, but I can't. Truth be told, Bobby probably, if Bobby's dad doesn't pass away, he probably doesn't coach that horribly. All right, here it is: Georgia Tech, Murray State, Indiana, Kentucky, Boston College, Virginia, NC State, Duke, Notre Dame, Virginia Tech, at Miami, at Pitt. That should be a really
that Duke team scares me. That dude Mike Elko's a real deal. 1 or 2 wins last year to second place in the Coastal.
I mean, if he doesn't win ACC Coach of the Year, then this whole thing is just out of order.
Yeah, he should. That was an amazing job.
I'm not sure I'm gonna be able to get to much of the questions and stuff. Yes, football sucked yesterday. Let's go to men's back. My other questions are: does he get? Y'all can answer these in the chat room. My other questions for football was: if you didn't think he got another year, does he get a pass due to injuries and portal opt-outs, and will he end up being a guy that, kind of like Stoops, that accidentally stays for a while due to his recruiting classes and these unfortunate incidents? Answer those if y'all don't mind in the chat. What about the DB from Cincinnati that's in the portal, head Louisville? I mean, I guess that could be a good one. Ruben Owens going to change the game. Yeah, thank goodness we're not starting the season at Georgia, Alabama, Auburn, Ole Miss. Surprise Vince didn't schedule us against Ohio State. The greatness of Lamar covered up the flaws of Bobby 2.0. Definitely need at least 3 quarterbacks on the roster, says use it, love it. Hickey says we're still waiting on the volleyball selection. We're 30 minutes into that show. He will have that for us live on the chat line, apparently. Next year will be much better. We need speed at wide receiver to get separation and better quarterback play. As far as that's concerned, I think again, if you look at Sat's offense, he did not depend a lot on passing the ball. It was like run, pass, run, pass, red zone, run, touchdown. That's just we don't have
quarterbacks.
Do what, Sean?
He did not trust his quarterbacks in the red zone. That's what that was.
I don't know. I mean, at App State, I think that's just the offense he runs. I think he wants to run that power running back offense where he's just shoving those guys down the opponent's throat the whole game, and that's a vast difference from the West Coast offense that we're used to watching. So, I mean, gotta give that team from yesterday, the opposing team. I know we've got multiple Kentucky fans watching the show, and again, I don't have any Kentucky fans that watch the show that I know that are douches. So if they say something, show them the utmost respect, please. Anything on the basketball front, recruiting-wise, next year or the following? We'll get to that in a second. Bobby 2.0 gave us Lamar in a 9-3 season, which we still couldn't beat Kentucky in. The production from Yasir and Yaya need to be replaced. You think it will be better? I think we're gonna land some talent in the portal that'll help us out. Chris Wolf, yo, Wama, when are you going to stop lying to yourself and the fan base and admit KP is a complete bust? Chris Wolf.
Whoa. Dude, never mind.
Well, first off, he called me by my last name, and only my friends call me by my last name. I have no idea who that is.
So you don't know who he is?
No, I don't know who he is.
Oh, well, let me speak freely then, sir. Come on now. You take over a brand new team, new players, new system, and you expect to have it all worked out in 5 games? You let me know how good of a coach, how great of a coach you are to work that out in 5 games to where you. Let me ask you this: do you see any type of improvement or anything like that? Because 5 games is really, really early to determine whether a coach should leave in his first year after dealing with Louisville dealt with for years. So it's really asinine for you to make such a statement like that. Now I get Jeremy's been on the KP bandwagon or train, whatever, for a long time, albeit so, but you got to give, like they say, let the cake bake a little bit. 5 games is way too early to make statements like that. Like way too early to make statements like that. Just think about what you're saying too. It's crazy.
Absolutely. Fabian says Lamar Jackson won those games. Stop. Michelle wants me to show him the exit. I'm not going to show him the exit just yet. He hadn't crossed the line. But here's the thing, Chris Wolf, if that is your real name. And yes, don't forget this team won 13 last year and lost half the players. Dan says KP took over a program that had fallen down and broken into 1,000 pieces. This was a major rebuild. Our fans need to stop acting like clowns. I won't call them clowns, but here's the thing. Well, it is Sunday, so I do feel like I'm going to be. No, it's not much better. Here's what we'll preach about on this. My comments for this were KP is still the right guy for the job. His recruiting will step up with no cloud around. This cloud has been gone for like 2 weeks. Could there be other things going on up there that the common fan is not aware of? There absolutely is things going on up there. It was just somebody. I appreciate y'all taking up for me. Y'all know I can handle myself. I done cussed 2 people out 2 weeks in a row, and I didn't want it to be 3. But Chris Wolf, if that is your real name, here's the situation. These kids have been through a lot. They had a coach leave them mid-season. Some of them have issues going on at home. They had personal issues going on as well. They're just literally. Yeah, you're right. He came here to get a reaction, and I'm gonna give him the opposite reaction of what he thought. He thought I'd be like, "Oh man, you and your mama and your dad and cousin and sister in the." But I'm not gonna do that because first off, I have class. Oh, when I say this, should I throw the L's sideways? Here's the thing. For those of you all that thought that KP was going to come in and we were going to win 30 games this year and have an immediate top 5 class with the NCAA. Well, other schools had NCAA restrictions. No, they didn't. They also didn't have other teams coming in and telling them, hey, Louisville's going to be banned this year and next year. We had that a lot. Didn't want a reaction to our fan. And I'm giving you honesty, Chris. That's one thing you'll never have to, if you know me, which I don't, not really sure if you do or not, I'm giving them honesty. I don't think NIL is help. Here's the thing: these kids are getting paid, being taken. If y'all only knew what Ashton Miles DeVore, like I think a lot of people would say him and Aiden McCool are at the end. They're all being taken care of very well. I'm not gonna put anybody's business out there in the streets, but yeah, I mean it's. And here's the thing: the people that are talking crazy about KP are the ones that didn't want nothing to do with him from the start, no matter what. Did you hear what Curtis Williams said? He told me not to even out. No, tactical TBK. That's what we'll call you because I'm not saying that whole line. his stance is simple. He doesn't want you coming in and saying, "Hey, my name is Curtis Williams Jr. What's my bag look like?" He wants you to come in and say, "I'm interested in playing basketball. I'm interested in going pro, playing, practicing, and earning the money." Those kids are getting money. I've told you all multiple times. Like, they're putting on these camps where people just like us can go and play ball and experiences and stuff like that. That the players are splitting the profit on. It's just, gosh, man. Yeah, James, Louisville basketball players have been through heck and back and need to give the basketball program a chance to build what we all want. For sure. People are yeah, it was taken out of context 1,000%. Like, I know for sure 2 of the recruits that I interviewed that didn't end up coming here after saying they were going to be here was like, we walked in and was like, "Hey, what's the bag look like?" And KP was just like, "Nice to meet you. Have a nice trip home." It is what it is. The fine line, Rito says, the fine line between KP as an inexperienced coach and it's really thin. That was told. Fabian says, "I'm not saying they're not getting NIL, but I'm saying Rito tries to get me in trouble every week. Every single week." My dog. I'm not saying they're not getting NIL. I'm saying it's complicating things. But here's the thing, though, Fabian. You're not the player. You're not those recruits. You have no idea what he is offering them. You don't know any of the deals. And a lot of this stuff that's being reported is from people that don't know anything that's going on. And they like earlier, Bring Brom Home reported that Josh Hurd just flew to Indianapolis to talk to Brom. That didn't happen. Or you're listening to the Twitter Blue Army, which for 2 days you could go and get your check mark. And then Elon ended that. And they look important, and they're not important. Tactical Bro says the other kids out there in the world aren't going to know that they're going to. Ain't got to worry about convincing me. Yeah, look, Yoda, you try to set me up, man. I heard it directly from a player's parent. Absolutely. I do not understand why all the panic. I'm lit. Like, somebody asked me the other day in the DMs, they were like, "Okay, on a scale of 1 to 10, how worried are you?" And I'm like, 0. Like, I know what he's trying to do. I know that AJ Johnson was directly told we were going to be banned this year. So he wanted to go to a different school. And then a week later, it was announced we weren't getting anything. And he was like, "Well, I thought they were getting banned. It is what it is." How much head coaching experience did Crum have when he got here? None. Okay. Chris Wolf says, "Money talks these days. It's not right. It's a broken system, but it's true. If KP doesn't adjust accordingly and fast, we'll be set back." Listen, that is a fact. If he doesn't adjust, we will be set back. But here's the thing. You don't know what he's doing. Mark, yeah, the fans do have – look, you can be concerned with the 0-6 start and know that things are about to be turned around. Like, I already know – like, and it sucks because I can't tell you all everything I know that's going on behind the scenes. And that's probably why I'm not concerned. I would say this. Somebody asked about the 23 kids earlier. I think we're going to lean on the transfer portal heavy. And I've been hearing about some kids down at the NBA Academy that we're looking at. So I think be excited about that. I don't mean it negatively as saying the kids on the team are dealing with parts. Yeah, they are. Mark, we are concerned. Thank you, Mark. This shouldn't be accepted at Louisville. LSU was under. Oh my God. They really did. They really did bring up LSU. LSU is doing just fine. LSU was under a cloud, but they didn't fire their coach like we did. That set us back.
Because they didn't
fire their coach. Let me rephrase that. They didn't fire their coach until well after it was first reported they were in trouble. They didn't fire everybody. Like he said, Kansas, for some reason, is untouchable. I don't know what's going on with them. It is what it is. Crum was an assistant through John Wooden. Well, I mean, some people would argue that with KP was an assistant under John Calamari. So they're going to get the same opportunity to talk to other players. Why is Bill? I don't know, Mark. KP don't sign checks. No coach does. Listen, I know for a fact that we had players all summer that were interested in coming here, but they were told, "Hey, we'd really like to come there," but we're being told, like 90% of their recruitment was, "Whatever you do, just don't choose Louisville. They're going to be banned this year or next year." So, I think quite a few decommits this spring. Our fan base needs a lesson on it. How it's just this. Look, you're going to either choose to wake up every day and be happy, or choose and wake up the same to me. And this is not a knock on Sam; he's here right in front of me. The same people who aren't happy that Louisville football is okay with 7-5 seasons are the same people who are out there that are like, "Fire KP. We didn't 0-1. We are 0-1. Fire KP." Like they just didn't. They just woke up and didn't want, for the most part. Like I said, not including Sam, because I know he's not like that. We fired Rick preemptively. Well, he did a lot of stuff preemptively. I don't disagree. I don't let sports ruin my day or spelling. Apparently, KP learned and played for Coach Crum. Yeah, so you can throw that. You can break that down a lot. But the fact of the matter is, and I'm trying to hurry up and get through. And no, Coach Cal's coaching tree isn't great. NIL is fixing to change again. At least you got some. Shut up, Bubba. I know you're talking about Shawn, but it is what it is. To wrap up that part of it real quick, because I can see things are just gonna. Yeah, the ones that keep talking about NIL, just because Kenny Payne's not as open as the rest of the coaches, just because he's not sharing a lot of, like, even the stuff that I've found. I have got Kenny Payne's phone number, and this is not a flex. This is a fact of life. I've got his phone number in my phone, and I can't get information from him half the time. It's the players, their families. They're the ones that end up. No, I'm not even going to try. I was going to try to be slick and cover the number up with my finger, but it's just Walter, Atlanta in the house. What up? No, I'm KP's bandwagon, but not Scott's. Cool. There's more going on in life than just basketball. We were the last number 1 seed in volleyball, Higgy said. But yeah, you're right, Cardinal. There's a lot more stuff going on with this basketball team than basketball. And I just choose to wake up every day and look for a positive outlook. And again, it's not fair because I am privy to information. I know what I'll give y'all this much. There's a kid. No, you're right. You're right. But these kids don't have a very high basketball IQ, and it's not their fault. I mean, Chris Mack brought most of these guys here. It's not that they don't have a high basketball IQ, but they've got outside stuff that's affected. And maybe that's a better way to do it. You are close to the sun. Love this channel. It's my first time listening and watching. Way too cool. We appreciate that. Sorry, Shawn's on here though. No, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it, Don. There's one of the kids. I'll give you this much, and y'all can do the research on it or try to play the hidden word games. And I don't think I'll get in trouble for this. If I do, it is what it is. I'll just talk to somebody else on this one. But one of the kids that turned us down is already asking to join the team next year. Think about that. Think about the fact that one of these kids that was lied to, Louisville's going to be banned this year and next year. Go Cats. Wants to come back. He ain't getting no clock, and he was lied to, and he wants to come to Louisville. Tactical Bro says you got a kid that's coming out spilling the tea on what was said in the recruitment about NIL. How is that not relevant and not be worried about how that's perceived is what I'm saying. No, I get that, but I also understand the fact that these are just kids, and I don't believe everything kids say. I don't know that he was supposed to say that. It is what it is. Easy to have a sunny disposition when you're so close to the sun. Bubba, go eat a. I'm sure you can find one painted on the side of Higgy's house. Michelle says, I think it's beyond positive or negative. People want to stick to their narratives, and the record so far is helping that for sure. Fabian and Bubba laughing. They have no dog in them. basketball-wise. Nobody said it's not relevant. We said it's not what was said the way it was reported. Yeah, it was in the wrong context. In the age of the immediate transfer, LOIs aren't as airtight as they used to be. Facts. All right, I'm gonna let you all continue talking in the chat room. I'll get back to catch everybody up. Rapid fire. Number 4 volleyball is the last number 1 seed. We found that out tonight at 7:30 on ESPMU. By the way, Rapid Fire is prepared for you every week, hot and fresh by Higgy. Pierce Clarkson, DeAndre Moore, Aaron Williams, Jahil McClain led St. John Bosco to the Southern California Championship. That's not even what it's called, but we'll go with it. Number 10 women's basketball won 100-37 over Longwood without Haley Van Lith. Chrislyn Carr led the Cards with 17 points. Tyler Hudson is only the 7th player in program history to achieve the milestone of reaching 1,000 yards receiving. He's 242 yards away from the single-season record. He can definitely climb up the single-season chart, like I said earlier, if he comes back. Well, not only if he comes back. If he comes back, that's not single-season. What I meant to say is if he stayed, Higgy, you're so freaking fired. It's ridiculous. If he comes back, it's single-season. You slap. Cooley's in the portal. We said that earlier. The portal does officially open on December the 5th for pillaging and plundering. I sent this in the DMs. Did y'all see? Check out all of our photo galleries. Even though we lost, Jeff Nunn did a phenomenal job capturing the game yesterday. I took a picture of this earlier. Somebody decided that they were going to test out Lamar Jackson earlier after he lost the game. Somebody tweeted him at Castle Will Kill. So if y'all want to go blow up his timeline, when someone is asking for over $250 million guaranteed, like Lamar Jackson, games like this should not come down to Justin Tucker or Jason Tucker or whatever his name is. Let Lamar walk and spend that money on a well-rounded team. To which our very classy, very prominent quarterback responds, "Boy, shut the F up. Y'all be capping too much on this app. MF ain't never smelt the football field and never did SHIT, but eat a DICK." I wonder if he was upset after the loss.
I'd say so.
Maybe. Shout out to all of our fine sponsors: Fitness Market, Shack in the Back Barbecue, 4-Pick Smokehouse and Bar, Derby City Lawn and Landscape, and we are working on more. Actually, should have a couple more in January. I'm really excited about it. If you'd like to sponsor the show, get in touch with me, Shawn, Sam, anybody on social media. We'll get right back to you. Speaking of social media, underneath Shawn's very odd drifter beard is where you can find all of Cardinal Sports Zone stuff on every platform: YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Our Twitch is the same as our YouTube. I just haven't gotten my updated graphic yet that I asked for 3 weeks ago. What's up, TJ? You can find the podcast though on all the podcast avenues, over 130 in all, including Apple, iTunes, Buzzsprout, Spotify, Stitcher, TuneIn, Google, Amazon, iHeart, Spreaker. Hit subscribe or follow or stalk or get Shawn a date now, whichever one will get you to have the show immediately downloaded into your library every week. If you haven't listened to all the episodes of the Cardinal Sports Zone podcast, go back and check them all out. Go to cardinalsportszone.com, the place it all began. Hit the podcast tab, hit the drop down menu, hit CSZ Podcast. CSZ Podcast. Shout out to everybody out there sharing the CSZ Podcast. We appreciate you. Shout out to our guys Marcus and Steve doing the Lord's work on ESPN 93.9 The Ville from 10 to noon every day. The month of December, we're going to scale it back a little bit. We're not going to have our 2 shows every week. We don't know. That's why you need to keep your notifications on, because we can't tell you what days for sure. We always take some time off December for the holidays and for family. But what I can tell you is we're going to do a bowl preview pod where I will the guest for that's going to be Keith Kelsey and Brandon Radcliffe, just to name a few. We may have a couple more jump in. And then we're also going to do a special podcast featuring Mike Rutherford and Earl Clark. We got much more in the works. Let's get back to the text line real quick. and see what we got going on. Look, Yoda was trying to tell me to play that outro a long time ago. I'm sitting here trying to get my business done. Any rumors on possible bowl spot? I've been seeing Sun and Military Bowl a whole lot. Let's see. Let's get back.
The military.
Yeah, I don't want to do that. Master Yoda says, if you haven't watched the volleyball team, you should. It's amazing. Absolutely. Probably right now the most dominant team on campus. I loved when kids stayed around. I don't know. Yoda has been telling me to play this fire intro for about 14 times. Okay, Higgy finally did something right. We host Samford Friday, face Tennessee versus Purdue winner in round 2. The 2 seed is Nebraska. Oregon is a 3 seed 4?
4 seed is
Oh, in our round. Okay, well, I couldn't tell because he told me that Nebraska Oregon is the 3 seed 4.
That's
I fixed a lot, Bubba. That's why it was understandable. Kenny seemed upbeat this summer in the beginning of practice. You think Kenny saw long and athletic, and it might have been kind of like fool's gold? No, I really believe, and he told you all at ACC Media Day, this team was 2 months behind where they thought, and that's all because of stuff going on off the court. That was great. Play that. I'm gonna play it in a second. Bubba, you eat a diss. Oh, eat a diss needs to come back. We'll do that. Y'all, for next week's show, DM me your all's who you all want to eat a diss and why, and we'll do that. Lamar, that's my QB tactical bro. Yeah, it was hilarious. I can't say Flock Nation, even though I just did. Babu, in my opinion, I agree with that somewhat. Practicing against each other is definitely different than a real game. He was a savage. Chris Wolf again, and bless his heart, because I could have blocked him a long time ago and I didn't, when he told me I wasn't being real with everybody. When, you know, my middle name is 200. I always wondered growing up why it was Jeremy 200 Woman. Now I know why, because I don't just keep it 100. One of the biggest problems Chris Wolf has is when people saying there's no talent on this team. Go check these kids' resume. It doesn't add up to 0-6. I can assure you. Here's the thing though, Chris, and I know a lot of these kids personally, and I would hate for any of this to get back to them, but these kids are not a traditional Louisville basketball team talent. They're not bad, but these aren't what we're used to at Louisville basketball prior to David Padgett. We had ballers on this, and they're just not. Malik may be a great six-man on Malik. God, I hope he doesn't come and play basketball. I can't take 6 years of that. L. Ellis would be on that roster, but it is what it is. I'm not trying to blame 20-year-olds, but the fact of the matter is there's something not clicking, and that's not the coach's fault, and it may not be the player's fault. Yeah, because a dumb former UK corner couldn't stop a 2-point conversion. I don't know. Hit the like button. Ravens need to pay Lamar. Lamar the Great. Yep. Yoda, I promise you I'm gonna play it. I have to answer everybody's questions. Let's be real then. They gotta want it. No coach can make them want it. If they don't, that's not a cereal bowl, Higgy. Don and Yoda. Do the coaches even want it though? Yes, they want it. Nolan Smith. You don't think Nolan Smith wants it?
Hold on. Have they seen Kenny Payne on the sidelines? Have they actually watched him on the sidelines in some of these games? He literally, he has been. I watched him yell and implore the team like he is like mind. Like I saw a little bit of. Now he doesn't do like, but he will lose his mind from time to time, and then he'll get the guys over and he'll be like, "What are you doing? What the are you doing?"
That's weird.
So
and just real quick before I forget, I'm glad somebody mentioned it. I don't expect for us to get Isaiah Miranda. I think that since his pool of teams that wanted him has opened up, I think that's changed his mind. Or I guess he could always do like Shaden Sharp did. And I don't know. I don't expect to get, especially with us going after those players at the NBA Academy. with Lole coming back, I think our defense could be solid. Absolutely. Nobody wants to play in Maryland. Absolutely. No, you're good, Yoda, for sure. Mark says that's right. Facts and facts. JJ is way better, but as a whole, I'm with you. No, they don't watch or listen to him. It don't fit their narrative. Shawn is going in and out. That's a good thing. Trust me, Yoda. That's the first time he's ever went in and out of anything. All right.
I thought he was gonna let it slide, Shawn. I just thought.
I wish Shawn would let it slide.
Unbelievable.
It's time to cut it, man. I appreciate y'all. I have a blast every week when we do these. That's why when I realized football season was over and we wouldn't get to do these as much, I was like, man, that sucks. But we'll still try to come to y'all every Thursday night. What we'll probably do with basketball season is pick a night where we won't play any games on and do it that night. But we will somebody give Master Yoda CPR because he's dead. Look, we're just trying to watch out for Shawn. We're just trying to watch out for Shawn. And Mr. Wolf, look, I know you didn't come in here combative. I appreciate your input, your thoughts, but the fact of the matter is you have no idea what's going on up there. I don't mean that disrespectfully. I mean, literally, we're sitting here talking, and I don't know if y'all can see that. Hold on, can y'all see that? Who just texted me?
Yeah, I can see it.
We're ending the show telling me to keep receipts. So it is what it is. I love y'all. Dead like Shawn's dating life. Shut up. Tactical Bro, I appreciate you too, man. I know, look, if I was worried, when I tell y'all that I'm worried, that's when y'all need to be worried. But right now, I am so excited about the future of Cardinal basketball. I know the recruiting class is more than likely going to be 3 transfers in, a reclass, and a couple of projects. I know y'all are going to shake your head at projects, but they're down at the NBA Academy right now. I'm as excited about one of them as I was Isaiah Miranda. It is what it is. Love y'all. I'm going to do exactly what my dude Yoda told me to do. Hit that fire outro. Oh, wait a minute. Any last
word?
Last word, Shawn. I'm a virgin. No other than that.
I'm dead.
What?
That's it. I'm dead.
Oh, you're dead? Okay.
I'm dead.
Much like your love life.
Yeah, what about you?
Go Cards.
Go Cards. Well, this was a very eventful last words. I'm going to go ahead and hit it, but absolutely, Michelle. Setbacks are for setups for major comebacks. Peace out. Love all y'all. Always L's up. You see somebody doing the L's down, tell them that's their IQ or they're just stupid. I don't know. Thank you, Don. Thank you, everybody. Until next time, we appreciate the love. We appreciate the support. And this has been, and we won't be 2-28, Chris. But I appreciate you tuning in. And this has been the Cardinal Sports Zone Podcast. Oh, negative Nancy. I like my new hat. Finally found it. In the right size.